Hi, I'm Dan Schmitt. I do a weekly television show called Team Chicago Challenge. I ran this trophy the other day. Second place, 2005 Nelson Ledges night race. Well, we're not going that race, we're going 2006. Joe Ball, Speedy Pete, a man who's probably got more laps at Nelson Ledges than anybody alive, joined Team Chicago. The three of us took on this 8-hour endurance, starting at 3:30, running till 11:30, daytime, nighttime, a real challenge. A good number of teams were up to the challenge, and I want to share this with people, because after seeing Mark's beautiful Suzuki, the last race he raced it at was at Nelson Ledges. I want you, my audience, to understand the great days that I did have. I mean, nowadays I'm not running the WERA National Endurance Series. I'm doing some dirt track stuff, and I'm covering other events and doing some road race, but I will be doing some road racing, I hope, in the future again, and maybe a couple endurance races. So let's go check out Nelson Ledges 2006.
Let's check out the action as it starts to get dark here in eastern Ohio. Nelson Ledges, WERA Bridgestone tires. Well, as we get into the third hour of racing, it's Vesrah Suzuki up front. Aren't You is running second. 5150 is third. Team Velocity is fourth. Delke has moved to fifth. As we see Team Velocity Racing running in fourth place on that R1 Yamaha. Last year's champs. They're on that 1000. They're out of Georgia. Coming into pits now and running second place is Aren't You Racing. Aren't You Racing. They're sponsored by Michelin as they change these Michelin tires. They're going to do a 2-tire change as they're changing this front wheel. Now you got to understand that they are running super stock legal, so they do not have the trick stuff, but they are making a great progress changing these tires. They are doing a great job as they pin up the clips. And it looks like Mark Kozer is going to be taking it out one more time. He is flying out there, and he's going to try to chase down Vesrah Suzuki. As we see Joe Ball on the Team Chicago 4 and 6 prepared Yamaha dealers coming down the front straightaway. Joe Ball is running a great race, turning 13s. Him and Pete have really made this great. And as we wrap up 3 hours of racing, it is Vesrah, Aren't You, 5150, Team Velocity, Delke Motorsport, and Team Chicago. We have moved up to 19th place. As we get into the 4th hour racing, it looks like LOC Endurance has moved to 5th place, and they are now leading that middleweight superstock class. Wilkie Racing has moved to 9th. Velocity Cruise in 10th. Delke has dropped back to 8th place. Team Velocity is 7th as we see Delke Motorsport. Delke Motorsport's running in 8th place. Team Velocity is 4th. 5150 is 3rd. Aren't You is 2nd. Vesrah is still leading. Red Star is running in 6th. And they are leading that middleweight superbike class. And that lightweight superbike class, Ghetto Customs and Blue Ridge are battling it out. They are within 5 seconds of each other, but Ghetto seems to have moved ahead of Blue Ridge. In the pits now, this is a team out of Canada also running SV. It's the Fly-In Durrani brothers. That's Chris and Sasha. And they're sponsored by Michelin on this SV. They're coming out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. They've run a few other endurance races this year. They have done fine. They have finished every endurance they've started. They are running in 20th place. In fact, they're just 5 laps behind Team Chicago as we're 4 hours into the race. They head on out. The bike's running great. And it looks like they're having a great time out here at Nelson Ledges. Speedy Pete is back out there on the Team Chicago. 4 and 6 are running 19th. We see Vesrah Suzuki is leading. They have got 2 laps. That's number 57 over Aren't You Racing number 5 as they head down the front straightaway. 12. That's Velocity Crew Racing there in 10th place. as we see Kevin's back on the bike, but we're reaching as they race with Red Star, who is running in 6th place and leading that middleweight superbike class. As we see Delke Motorsport, number 6, but they're being passed by 5150. 5150 on that big Suzuki 1000. Delke's on the 600. 5150's running in 3rd place. Team Chicago, we're in the pits. We are fixing the bike. Actually, I had an extra battery under the seat. We're reattaching the seat. This is a little bit of maintenance. It is 7:30, the mandatory time to get the lights on. I'm going to be taking the bike out as Joe and Pete give me a hand.
I'm going to hook up the lights in the front, Joe. Yeah, they're hooked up. Walk together? Yeah.
And with everything buttoned up, new tire on the rear, new Dunlop tire, lights are working, batteries all hooked up, the seat's mounted, headlights are fine. It's my time to go out. It's 7:30, we're halfway through the race. It's my time, the challenge. Nelson Ledgers, let's check out this racetrack. Turn 1 is this fast sweeping right-hander. As I take the Team Chicago 4 and 6 prepared Yamaha through it. Come through turn 2 is another right-hander, which leads us to 3 and 4, which is a sweeping left hand. I'm on the Team Chicago 4 and 6 prepared. Race tire service Dunlop. Torco Racing Fuel and Oil. That's Mateer Oil, Torco Racing Fuel and Oil. As I head out of 4 into turn 5, 6, 7, which brings us into the carousel. This is a sweeping carousel. New pavement back here. You swing it wide, and then duck down on the inside, get on the gas, go down the back chute. That takes you to turn 9, I think, which is this kink here, fast kink. You're doing 140 miles an hour at the end. 5th, 6th, 1 downshift into the kink. Coming to turn 12 and turn 13. 12 is the left-hander, 13 is the right-hander. But the Team Chicago 4 and 6 prepared Yamaha dealers is working great. As we see Ridge Racing and Team Velocity heading down the front straightaway. As we move ahead, another half hour into the race. It's a little bit past 8 o'clock p.m. The sun is starting to set in the west. As I make it through turn 3 and 4 and head out towards the carousel, go through turn 5 here. 6 takes you into the carousel. 7 and 8. You see the sun is setting in the west. We head through the carousel, get on the gas, drop low, down the back chute. It's a little bit light as we get out of the tree line. You see the headlights are starting to be working. As I go through the kink that leads us into turn 12. Brake here, a couple more downshifts. It's like Team Max's just come by. Is that Billy Eckrich on that Team Max's, number 72? Max's tires. Also coming by, that's Machika Motorsport. Machika Motorsport, they have had a little problem with their 1000. But Machika Motorsport is running in 13th place. Just to point out, Ghetto Customs has now moved to 10th place in that lightweight superbike class. They are leading that class. Blue Ridge is right behind them. But there's 1 lap between Ghetto Customs and Blue Ridge. That's the SV Suzuki and the twin Kawasaki battling out in that lightweight superbike class. In the heavyweight superbike class, that's right, it's Vesrah Suzuki, aren't you? And 5150 are battling in the heavyweight superstock class. Team Velocity Racing 2 is now leading LOC in the middleweight class. Red Star is leading that middleweight superbike class. The Team Chicago 4 and 6 prepared bike is running perfectly. as we see a couple bikes battling out there coming through turn 12 and 13. We zoom in. Looks like 5150. 5150 is in third place. 5150 sponsored by Montgomeryville Cycle Center, NCT, MotoHeaven.com. And now we come back and it is full darkness. It is getting near 8:30. I've been on the bike almost 1 hour. Right in front of me, it looks like that Kawasaki. Is that Ridge Racing number 47? It sure looks like a Kawasaki with that green fender. They're sponsored by Ridge Racing, Pirelli, Vesrah, Thermosman, Silkling, and Pitbull. So head down the back chute, you can see the horsepower at 1,000 as they make it through the first kink and into the second kink. Let's see if I can get right back on them. You can see there's a little bit of fog on the back here, but we're getting near 8:30. I've been on the bike an hour and 3 minutes so far. It's going to be time to pit pretty soon. But earlier, I had a chance to talk to the riders when it was still daylight. So let's get a few more comments from the riders at Nelson Ledges.
My name is Jeff Atwell, riding the GSXR 750 for Billy Etheridge at BEI Racing. He invited me to run the Summit round for him here a month or so ago, and he's invited me to finish the remaining races in the 2007 season as well. I haven't raced here myself since the 24-hour back in '94. We got our lights dialed in last night. Should be pretty squared away for the race. I'm looking forward to it. Billy will start out. I'll be second rider. Then Jeff Walker will go into the night, and then Billy and I will finish the remaining. Looking forward to it. Should be a good time.
We're the Flying Durante brothers. My name is Satch. It's my big brother Chris, as you can tell. We always fight over the bike because he's like 30 pounds heavier than me. It's our first time at night. We borrowed an extra light off of somebody. We can't see our way around there at night, and we don't know the track that well. So our big challenge is just going to be finishing 8 hours with just the two of us.
If you ask me, I think it's just a mad, sick game of connect the dots at night. And it wasn't that much fun. It should be a little bit better now that we have this.
First year doing WERA endurance. So far, so good, actually. We finished every race. And you know what? I don't think we could ask for more than that. And we're having fun.
Phil Cottle with 5150 Racing. We here at Nelson for the 8-hour night race. Just finishing up some final touches on our lighting systems. Hope to do pretty good today, running all right times in the daylight as well as the night time. So if we keep it on two wheels, and we'll do really good overall this weekend.
Mark Crozier with Aren't You Racing. As far as tonight goes, the biggest challenge is going to be the fog and the weather. I think they're calling for some rain. So last night was a little foggy down the back and through the kinks, so that's going to be the biggest challenge. But other than that, I'm looking really forward to riding at night. It's a lot of fun.
Acre, ride for Vesrah Suzuki. Challenge about this place in the dark is, just getting around all the sealer and hoping when you can't see it coming, just hoping the bike stays underneath you.
Joe Presiano riding for Red Star Racing, and the challenge here is going to be being able to see where you're going, and if it's good weather, it's just going to be the same for everybody, trying to do the best we can. If it rains or if fog comes in, the challenge is going to be staying off the sealer and staying upright.
Ball and Pete Smakula talking into this cool camera with Dan Schmitt. We're going to have a great time here at Nelson's Ledges Raceway, starting out in the sunlight and riding into the dark. We got 3 old guys riding a fairly new bike. We're going to have some fun for 8 hours today. Had a lot of fun at this track in years past, especially riding in 24 hours in the dark. So I'm ready to do it again.
It's Joe Ball. Also glad to be here with Team Chicago. We've had some mechanical problems in the last few rounds, and in our practice day on Friday, we managed to get them all sorted out, so the bike's running great. And we're looking forward to one, having a veteran Pete with us to help us out with the lights and puts down some fast laps in the darkness, and 8 hours from daylight into dark at Nelson Ledges here.
Well, as I continue on Nelson Ledges, we're looking at the bikes coming through turn 12 and 13. But it looks like Ridge Racing there with the 4 headlights evenly spaced on the front of that Kawasaki Ridge Racing, sponsored by Ridge Racing. As I head down into turn 13 and 14 one more time. Head down the front straightaway. Lights are working. Front straightaway is the only place that there is a light on the racetrack. As I head into the first corner, bike is coming out of the pits. They're going to hook up behind this bike. But Vesrah Suzuki, 5 hours of racing, they are leading 256 laps. Second place, 4 laps down, is Aren't You Racing, 252 laps. 251 laps is 5150. This is the battle in that heavyweight super stock class between Aren't You and 5150. Team Velocity is 3 laps back on that 1000 R1. Team Velocity 2 is leading that middleweight super stock class. They're in 5th. LOC is right with them. They're on the same lap, 246 laps. Red Star is leading middleweight super bike. They've got 3 laps over. Velocity Crew is running 7th and 8th, so that's that class. Delke is in 9th. Ghetto Customs is 10th. Wilkie's 11th, and Blue Ridge is 12th. 1 lap separating those 2 lightweight super bike. And I am signaling, waving, letting everybody know the best I can that I'm heading back into the pits. My time is done out here on the racetrack. That looks like, is that Wilkie Motorsport just going by? Wilkie Motorsport, they are looking good. They're running 11th place. As I head back into the pits, another bike is heading out. Getting the bike in neutral, turn it off. Gas is ready. Char, who's with Wicked Wizard, is there to catch. Got help from her dad, I believe that is. Joe's putting the fuel in. And it's going to be Joe Ball's time to go out and challenge Nelson Ledges. Joe's got many, many laps. He's a local Ohio resident. He's raced at Nelson Ledges many, many times. 10 times as much as me. I'm here because it's a WERA National. It's not one of my favorite racetracks, but it's okay. Joe Ball heads on out. They're starting the 6th hour now as we see the bikes coming through turn 12 and 13, heading onto the front straightaway. Got the Chica Motorsport with the cow coming by. Is that Vesrah Racing? It looks like Vesrah has just gone by. Vesrah is flying now. They are using the stock headlight and 1 additional headlight, but it seems like they have got great lights. As we see these bikes going through turn 9 and 10, going into 13, into the King. Now they're in the 12 and 13. That was on the back straightaway. 5, 6 bikes racing down the straightaway. Vesrah Suzuki, Aren't You, 5150 is 3rd. Team Velocity still 4th. Red Star, during the 6th hour, Red Star has moved to 5th place. LOC has moved to 6th, and LOC is now leading that middleweight superstock class. Team Velocity Racing is dropped 3 laps behind LOC. Delke is running in 8th place. Ghetto Customs has now moved up to 9th, 1 lap down. Blue Ridge Performance. This battle in the lightweight superbike class is heating up. We see these bikes going through turn 4 and 5, heading out towards the carousel. The headlights coming towards you, and then they turn into turn 4 and 5. Racing through the night. This is how dark it is in the back section of the track. And the sad story, Neighbor the Beast has got an acceleration problem. The bike will not accelerate. They have taken the air box off. They've taken the fuel injection off. This has been a major disaster because they were right up there in the points battling with Ghetto Customs. This is going to cost Neighbor the Beast dearly. My good friend, Melissa Burkhoff, her team, but not a great day for them as we see Zyvex in. That's Steve Green. He's turned the bike over to JB. Zyvex Racing. Zyvex mode release. That's what Zyvex is all about. JB Lehman's going to be taking over from Steve Green as they change both front and rear tires. They're running heavyweight super stock, I believe. And because they're running super stock, they have no trick set up for changing the tires that they're doing the front tire, but they're having a great time. The two brothers, the dad and Steve Green, racing in the darkness. And as we come to the end of 6 hours of racing, it's Vesrah, Aren't You, 5150, Team Velocity, Red Star, LOC, Team Velocity, Delke, and Ghetto Customs. Well, as we get into the 7th hour, it is a disaster for Velocity Crew Racing. They have run into electrical problem after running in the top 10 and doing so well. This electrical problem has really knocked out Velocity Crew Racing. They're from Huntington, Maryland. These guys have come so well prepared, but when you're putting lights on, the extra demand to having extra lights on the bike will look for the weakest point in the electrical system. Evan Perkins and Paul Youngman, my two good friends. This is really knocking them back, and this is not a good deal for them. They've been running great. In the pits now, making a tire change. That's right, Team Maxxis Racing, sponsored by Maxxis Tires. They make a cool, quick change. Team Maxxis is up to 13th place now as they go out to do battle. Billy Eckridge and the crew, the Georgia boys, always a great team, always a great organized team, and they're running the Maxxis tires and doing all the tire testing for that company. As we see the bikes charging into turn 1, Nelson Ledges Road Racing. Coming into turn 13 again. Can't quite make that bike out. Could that be Vesrah heading down the front chute? Now making a pit stop, changing a tire. This is Ridge Racing. Ridge Racing, they're having a pretty decent race. They're running 14th. In the meantime, Joe and Pete Smakula, Speedy Pete, they have moved Team Chicago up to 15th. We have moved up. Ridge Racing's in 14th. Team Maxxis in 13th. Weapons of Worship is in 12th. Wilkie Racing is in 11th. Blue Ridge and Ghetto Customs. What a battle in this lightweight superbike class. So we see Phil Caldwell working to change the front tire. This is 5150. They are running in 3rd place. Again, they're running heavyweight super stock. They cannot have the trick stuff, just like Ridge Racing is running heavyweight super stock, so they cannot have trick tire stuff, but they should have a little bit better stuff. They should be able to do a rear tire much quicker. Working around the rules, you cannot have quick change stuff, but you can make it pretty easy. 5150 does a great job changing their tires, just like Aren't You, and these teammates, friends, continue to battle in that heavyweight super stock class, but Aren't You Racing has got 3 laps on 5150, but Vesrah Suzuki is still leading as they've got 5 laps on the field. As we see bikes going through turn 3 and 4, and then going through turn 11 and 12, 7 hours of racing. It's Vesrah, Aren't You, 5150, Team Velocity, LOC, Red Star. Vesrah Suzuki comes in and makes their final pit stop. 1 hour left in the race. Vesrah Suzuki, Pirelli, Nielsen Enterprise, Traction, Penske, Voltex, DID, Maxima, Factory Pro Tuning, Fujiko, Vanson, R-Tech Fuel, GBR stabilizers and hot bodies as they fire it up and head on out. Vesrah Suzuki, they have averaged over 100 miles an hour out here as the bikes continue to race through turn 3 and 4 as we get into the final few minutes of this race. Up front, as we see the bikes coming into turn 13 and 14, but Vesrah has really dominated. They have gone 404 laps. As we see the Vesrah Suzuki, check that. That could be 5150. And Joe Ball on the Team Chicago 4 and 6 prepared Yamaha. So we wait for the flag then, but it's Vesrah Suzuki, Aren't You Racing, 5150, Team Velocity Racing, LOC Endurance, Red Star, Team Velocity Racing, Delphi Motorsport, Ghetto Customs, Wilkie Racing, and Blue Ridge in 11th, Weapons of Workshop, Team Maxis, Ridge Racing, and Team Chicago. Getting the checkered flag, ending 8 hours at Nelson Ledges.
Vesrah won the heavyweight superbike class. Heavyweight super stock was Aren't You Racing 5150 was second. Lightweight superbike was Ghetto Customs. Red Star won the middleweight superbike class. LOC middleweight super stock. And Team Chicago, we were fourth. For more information on WERA, America's road race leader, Western Eastern Road Race Association, is WERA.com. On Facebook, go to WERA Motorcycle Road Racing. Nelson Ledges Road Course, it's nelsonledges.com for more info. Team Chicago was up for the challenge and we all had a great time. To contact me, and I'd love to hear from my audience, it's teamdan45@gmail.com. And remember, you can always search on YouTube with Dan Schmitt Motorcycle Racing for great motorcycle racing action, Dan Schmitt Politics, to learn what makes America great, and I love to hear from my audience. I highly encourage you to visit the World of Motorcycle Museum. They're in Winamac, Indiana, 4 miles south of North Judson on Indiana Highway 39. But give them a call first at 574-896-3172. It's a great trip and a great collection of motorcycles. If you want to pick up your copy of the Team Chicago History Package, go to Rich's Yamaha in Lockport, Illinois. Give them a call first at 815-838-8130. Their website is richesyamaha.com. And if you want to know everything there is to know about motorcycles, there's nothing like going to a swap meet. Here's a few dates. Woodstock, Illinois, Shepherdsville, Kentucky, Princeton, Illinois, Monroe, Michigan, Springfield, Ohio. Go to walneckswap.com for more info. walneckswap.com. You'll have a great time.